What's up YouTube? Welcome to Dev Routine channel. My name is Nick, and today's video I'll tell you more about canvas technologies in React. If you're scared of these X and Y coordinates, drag and drop stuff and mouse handlers, after this video you'll be pro at it. So let's start. In my everyday tasks I use React Konva for canvas because it's simple and easy to use. So basically this documentation, view, svelte, let's click our React here, and here's the command to install it. But first let's initialize our Next.js project. Great, now we can access this folder and see what's happening here. So now we see that our project is pretty much ready for the canvas, so we need to just install it. Good, now we just need to run it. Now when we open the page we see this error. Actually it says that you need to set module resolution to node. We go to TypeScript config and just change it to node, and everything works great. So after we created our Next.js project, we need to set up the Next.js config in order to make React Konva work. So those settings are required in order to make React Konva work. So let's start creating something that we start with. And the first thing we need to create is stage, because the stage is a canvas itself. After we reloaded our server, we still see the errors. What's the catch? We need to make it the client component. So if you are using a canvas, you can make it in separate component and make this component client. But in my variant, I'll just make the whole page client-sided. So now we see that there are no errors present and we can start setting up our stage. For example, we can set the width. I usually set it as window inner width and height is window inner height. Great, now we can set some class names here. For example, background color is fully supported by Tailwind, so now we can see our canvas. So what basically we can do with that, you ask me? I would say we can do everything with that. For example, we can drag some shapes. Let's create a shape, name it rect. We have rects here, we have circles here. So those are shapes and this is a group that can group them up. Now let's create something. Let's add layer, because if you could imagine, the canvas is like a Photoshop which has its own layers, and in layer we add our rect. We can say that it's draggable. Also we can set its color, for example red, and set up its size. So now we can see our rectangle in our canvas. We can also drag it already, but it's not controlled like we have controlled inputs, checkboxes, the same way we have our shapes. It's not controlled, but it's working. Now what we can do to make it controlled? We can actually present a state and declare some type. Let's call it dimension today. Important moment in our canvas, the x0, y0 is here. So we can say that x10, y10 is here. Basically, you should understand that. Now we have our chords, and now we'll pass some initial values here. Great. Now what we need to do to record those chords? First of all, we need to pass them here. We can pass the x, or we can simply do something like this. Great. Now we have fixed chords. For example, we can change it to 10, 10. It will change here. Great. Now what we can do with them? Actually we can make some handler called const handle change shape position, and it will change shape's position and record it in state. Basically we take the event. It's important to know that Konva gives its own types, so we can use the Konva event object and pass something here like mouse event. Great. Now this event is not a simple event, it's kind of special. If we just look into that, we'll see something like current target, event, pointer ID, target type, child, etc. What you need to know is, for example, current target is specific element that you're clicking on. For example, you have the shape and you have other shape inside. This matters, the default target and current target. If I have just simple rectangle, it doesn't matter. So guys, here now you need to listen carefully. It's all about dragging. If we click and hold this rectangle, the onDrag start fires. If we move it, the onDrag move listener fires. If we release our button, the onDragAnd listener fires. With this knowledge, we can go here and say onDragAnd, because we just want to know the final shape position. So let's pass this here and let's set the shape's position here. So we basically say that we take the event, then we set the chords, and we say the X is event target, because we remember we click on the rectangle and we have the X here, and we need to call it because it's a method. Also we have the Y, it's the same like X, just Y. Great. Now if we log our chords, we'll see our chords actually. And now if we move it, we see our chords changing only after drag-and. This helps us to not change it where we move, because this will trigger a lot of re-renders, but we fire it only on drag-and. So by using those simple steps, we can already save the shape chords and drag it. In the next videos, I will show you what we can do with those chords and how we can create new shapes manually. Subscribe to our Telegram channel and see you soon.